What a wonderful opportunity it has been for Monash and the Faculty of Arts, Herb Feith and LLCL to be hosting the Asian Studies Association of Australia conference.
Some of the highlights of the 24th biennial conference have been the postgraduate day and also just the dynamism of being able to meet in person and also have many participants online. This is the first ever hybrid conference for the ASAA and I think it's gone wonderfully.
People have been able to attend sessions in person or Zoom in from across any of our conference hubs in China, India, Malaysia and Indonesia. We've talked about some really important, hard issues of social justice and how we can push the agenda forward to help make the world a more socially just place.
This has been an incredibly innovative conference, an incredible achievement that Monash University has been able to coordinate all of these activities.